Welcome to my over budget and underdeveloped above ground concrete bunker in Chicago. Take a moment to get acquainted with some of the features we have here, or if you'd like, you can just play basketball. Here at the Presidential Center, we like to keep things moving, literally. Take a look around. Every kind of ride you can imagine. Some brand new, some with a little history in their gears. Have a bite, give a bite. Need a bite, take a bite. And every hallway tells a story about the community it serves. Home safety is a priority here. Let's keep going. This is the heart of the center. We built this room so our young folks can step into a story that isn't just about the danger they see on the corner, but the people.
Barack Obama yesterday, not only did he not thank President Trump for the peace agreement in Gaza, but he also, in a clip, we don't have to play the clip, but we can just pop it up, said, listen, I was forced to engage in a shadow government. He straight up says it in this interview, and I think he just doesn't care anymore. But he's like, I wanted to get out of government. 8 years was long enough. But because Trump was so mean and such a threat, I was forced to just move down the street, right, to call my Colorama house. And I just had to pretty much play the shadow president. And he kind of just openly admits it here. And I was running the party. There was no leader. So it was just me running the party. And I was effectively running against Trump from down the street in the White House, which is an insane admission, but something that we all knew was happening. Your reaction to this, Eric?
My reaction is he's not very good at running anything because he was a terrible president, in my opinion. And beyond that, he ran on hope. Look how good his library is doing right now. Barack Obama, I am happy to come in and save your presidential library. I mean, the guy literally, they go down the streets in Chicago, Benny, and they're like, what does that look like? And everybody's like, man, that looks like a jail. Like that thing looks like a jail. Now they're like billions of dollars over budget. Every day they're getting, sued for, discrimination. I was reading an article the other day where like everybody in the library is getting sued for discrimination. Like the great irony of all of this. This building is hundreds of millions of dollars over budget. It's years behind schedule. Like the guy literally can't build a building in his home city, and he's talking about running the United States government. Yet my father's over there getting peace deals done that are unthinkable, right? I mean, accomplishing so much. It's the guy needs a little bit inward reflection on being an actionable leader. But either way, my offer still stands. I'm more than happy to finish up the Barack Obama library. I'll actually get it done for him. But no, listen, it's disgusting. This is exactly what we had to work against. I mean, he's the one that came up with the whole concept of the fact that there was Russian interference, and the Russians were to blame for Hillary Clinton's loss, and the Russians were colluding, and that Trump had secret servers in the basement of Trump Tower and everything else. I mean, he's behind all of that. I mean, you see all the recent reports that are coming out about this, and I mean, think about the fact that our government. I mean, think about the millions of hours, press hours, time, effort that was wasted distracting the American people from, hey, in the entire government from being the number one superpower in the world and being better than China in everything we do, and American exceptionalism, all because a person wants to put up roadblocks, from the comfort of their townhome 3 blocks away. It's not very American, and I don't think history is going to look kindly on him for those actions.
We went to the Obama Presidential Library, just since you brought it up. I wasn't planning on it, but we kind of have to. We went to the Presidential Library and we asked people in that neighborhood, Eric, ever so kindly and politely, like, what do they think that it looks like exactly? And everyone told us it looked like a phone booth or a jail or a trash can. Some of the other responses we got was a TARDIS from Doctor Who. Some people just said it looks like a rock. One boy said it looks like a gray mountain. Fine, but like, is that really aspirational?
Benny, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library. Right, I can promise you. First of all, it's going to be done on budget, ahead of schedule, and I can promise you, it's going to be the greatest shrine to the greatest president this country has ever had. And I promise you, it's going to be the greatest structure ever created for a president by far. It's going to be the greatest library ever envisioned. And I promise you, it will not look like a jail. This much I can tell you. It will have the most beautiful curtain wall. I mean, I couldn't even begin to fix that building, and I'm really good at fixing buildings. Like what do you do? You cut through. You know how much concrete went into that? Like, you could have had a substantially more beautiful building for less money that would have actually had windows in it. But hey, what the hell do I know about buildings? It's just the only thing that I've ever done my entire life. But I promise you, the Donald J. Trump library, and I can't give you details yet, but it is the most beautiful structure you've ever seen. You're going to start seeing designs of it sooner rather than later.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna ask, like, there's no teaser. Will it be a skyscraper? Will it be?
Just
We know that it's gonna be Miami.
Benny,
We have the announcement tweet right
my
here.
problem is
Let's
I love
pop
you
it
too
up.
much. I can't do it. I
All
love you too.
All
I
right.
love you.
All
I love.
All right.
I'm not giving anybody any tidbits other than the fact that it's
Yep.
freaking spectacular and it's going to be very well warranted. And honestly, there is no project that I could be associated with that I care more about than honoring that man based on everything he's gone through. It's going to be. I'll put my entire heart and soul into it, and it's going to be spectacular.
Can I make a humble suggestion?
Tell
It's
me.
totally out of bounds for me because I don't have a background in this, but can I make a humble suggestion from the audience? Because I know the audience wants this. Corporate media has paid you close to $100 million in settlements. Much of that goes towards the presidential library. So please, for the love of God, make the fake news wing of the library sponsored by ABC News and CBS and 60 Minutes, and put their logos right up there and just show everyone who paid for the fake news wing of the library.
By the way, I hadn't thought of that, but that's beautiful. We could do a floor dedicated to, and what we'll do is we'll just roll the 60-minute clip over and over of how they doctored Kamala's interview. And we can roll Charlottesville over and over and over of how they just cut out this little segment and forgot, 3 words at the end of the sentence. And yeah, I actually think that'd be a great exhibit about how dishonest these people are and how they will lie, cheat, and steal. We can probably put the Stephanopoulos interview in there with JD, with JD from 2 days ago. I mean, that would be a great one. And we can remind people who all of these people are. In fact, that Stephanopoulos literally ran the Clinton war room, but now they have to fairly moderate debates. We could certainly put 60 Minutes on there as well when Leslie Stahl said, hey, they did not spy on Donald Trump's campaign, even though they were clearly spying on Donald Trump's campaign. Hey, there's a lot of fodder out there. Believe me, I will make, in honor of Benny Johnson, and because I think it's a phenomenal freaking idea that I'm really upset that I didn't think about myself, I will do an entire floor dedicated to the fake news, and I'll have a little trademark in your honor, Benny. That's a wonderful idea, and I promise I will accomplish that for you. Make no mistake, I will accomplish that for you.
This is the time for cheers. This is the time for cheers, Klein. Yes, thank you. This is the time for cheers. Thank you. That has made my week.
And by the way, there's an area in there for Charlie as well, because you better believe he's a hell of a part of this journey, and he certainly needs to be honored in that building.
Wow. The fake news wing, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. What a remarkable journey. I know, Eric, that you have a slam-packed day today. If you'll allow me, just a closing question on the response to what's happened over the last 24 hours, 48 hours. You started off with your father going to heaven. Many people saying that actually perhaps Charlie's memorial was the first time they really heard your father speak in deep earnest about his faith, and your brother Don. And that ain't never happened before on a live stage, right? Where Don Jr. and Donald Trump Sr. both profess Christ. That is very rare. What, if anything, that's a miracle that Charlie brought, truly. And it's just because I think that your family's private about these kind of things, and that's very old school, and that's the way a lot of people are. But perhaps you could tell the internet, who was everyone was so earnestly concerned about your dad saying, I'm not going to heaven. And I think he was just saying it kind of as a joke, right? But either way, tell me quickly about his faith. I'm sure that it's covered in the book Under Siege, out today, link in the description. But maybe you could end with that, right? How does your father practice his faith?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't wear it on his sleeve like so many people, right? I can't tell you how many phony politicians that I've met who wear it on their sleeve and they pretend to be somebody that they're not. My father tries to do the right thing, and he's there to do the right thing. And that's the man he is. I mean, he believes in God. Obviously God is, guiding this journey, but yet he's humble. I mean, in Butler, you remember his first words were, I wasn't meant to be here. And you had the entire audience are all wearing the patch on the ear say, yes, you were. Yes, you were. So, what you heard yesterday was almost an extension of Butler. It's almost this kind of self-deprecating type, it's, humbleness that's coming out of him. At the same time, I have to say, and I don't mean to go from kind of the thoughtful and spiritual to kind of the funny, right? But, I'm not sure if you were watching the speech yesterday when he was in the cabinet, all the Israelis were around, and he looks down at Bibi Netanyahu and he goes, my daughter, she's happy to be here. She loves the great people of Israel, and she loves Judaism, and she converted, Bibi. She converted, and Bibi, this was not necessarily in the cards. I can tell you this much. This was her becoming Orthodox was not in the cards, and the entire parliament was laughing. Right? I mean, he's been a guy who's always been able to bring some kind of levity to religion, which was normally kind of against the rules for whatever reason. And he did that. I mean, literally, here he is, Christian guy speaking in a predominantly obviously Jewish room, talking about a daughter converting and how he would have never seen that in his wildest dreams, but yet it's beautiful, and that's why she's there, and her love for Israel and love for the Jewish people. And I don't think too many other people could kind of get away with that, nor would they have ever gone down that down that road, right? And I think that's what people find endearing about him. The fact that he's really honest. He's never somebody else. He's never fake.
Yes.
He never pretends to be the Bible thumper that certain people in politics pretend to be, because they think it's otherwise going to benefit them in some way, shape, or form, even though they're kind of total phonies in their entire life. No different when he showed up at the Iowa State Fair, right? As a politician, I watch half these guys. I'm not going to throw out names because I don't need to start insulting people. I mention it. I talk about it a lot in Under Siege, but how many people throw on a pair of Carhartts, their work boots, their steel toe work boots. They've never worn a pair of boots in their life, right? They would hop on a Harley Davidson 300 yards away from the gates of the Iowa State Fair. They'd ride their Harley in there. They look like total phonies. I mean, they don't know the shift pattern on a Harley yet. They practically fall. They don't know where the kickstand is. They rented the thing three minutes ago. They ride in. The sticker is still on their Carhartts. I've never been washed. I've never been used. I have no grease or oil on them. And they want to be considered like authentic people, right? Yeah, my father flies in on his helicopter from New York in a suit and a red tie. And that's what people adore him. He doesn't fake it. He clearly believes. There's no one, believe me, especially after what he's gone through, there's no one who believes in faith more than him at this point. But at the same time, he doesn't he doesn't act. He's not an actor. He's true to himself, and he says what's on his heart and in his soul. And I think you saw that yesterday.
Ah, what a beautiful ring. The family that brought world peace